Shalom Yasharallah. First and foremost, I want to say all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the house of David. Salutations to you brothers throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching the truth in righteousness and sincerity. To you Israelite foreigners, come back home to the truth. To those that passed on serving the Lord, the dead in Yahweh Shai shall arise first. To you sisters who believe, keep encouraging and supporting your brothers who are out here teaching this truth. And always commemorate the sister who washed Yahweh Shai feet wherever you teach the word. A brother reached out to me in light of my last video, and was telling me about things that he's gone through since he's been in this truth. Which is slander, brothers that are in the same exact faith. And I'm talking about, doctrine wise and everything. Being, conjuring up lies or, doing shady shit to him. And I'm going to share with y'all something that was told to me by a brother who left the faith, but his advice lives on nonetheless, because I've been living by it since I came in the truth, which is you have to understand that this truth is very important in a lot of ways to Satan. So what Satan's job is to do is to deceive brothers. And I'm going to tell you, there's hardly a camp in this world that doesn't or hasn't had a lot of men. If you have in your current roster, if you look at your current roster and look at every man that's been in your camp since your camp started, and you can't say that at least half of the men that were in your camp left your camp, then y'all ain't making enough waves. I'm going to tell you, there was a time when I thought that men of valor, I'm not going to say we was in the kingdom or nothing, but there was a time where I was like, wow, we're growing. We're doing something right. And then the sign that we're actually doing something right actually came up, because men started getting kicked out, men started leaving, men started, it went from a temporary suspension to full kickouts. And every single one of them made me sad. Every single brother that's no longer with men of valor, there's times that I think about times when they was around, and I don't want to get into names, but we had so many brothers at one time that we should have probably split, not split as far as men leaving, but maybe set up separate camps to cover more territory, to teach the word more. Because this truth is not a 1, 2, 3 thing. Like, you don't come into this thing and just automatically learn everything from the rip. But you do learn over time different lessons. And I'm honestly very sad that we don't have all those men that used to be, and a couple sisters. We had some great sisters that was with us, men's wives, or, in one case it was a sister who I to this day have nothing bad to say about her. If she ever happens across this video, just know that whatever happened, it's two sides to every story. I never got yours. I don't feel I need to, because I don't know. I don't have a negative thought, and it's not like negativity was brought to me about her. She just did something that was wrong one time. It's not like, nobody said she was a bad person or anything, but wherever the Most High is, and this is the point that I'm trying to get to, wherever you have the Most High, wherever you have the Most High's strong presence, Satan has a strong presence there too. Because you got to think about it. It's one thing to attack where the Most High doesn't have as much direct influence. Meaning, does Satan really have to go to the church of Satan and work his magic? Everything, the magic has already worked. Quote unquote magic, by the way. What Satan needed to do to get people to go to the church of Satan, he's already done it. You just maybe had to go supervise a little bit and, okay. All right, make sure they're still teaching their lies. Okay. You know, go to the church of Masons, whatever. Go to a Masonic lodge. Oh, they're still teaching all the satanic shit. Okay. Leave them alone. Christian church, yeah, they're already teaching their lies. We don't have to, we just have to make sure that they don't stumble across certain scriptures that cuts that bullshit they teach. But no, we don't need to. If we are dealing with the Most High, Israelites I'm talking about, then Satan has the strongest stronghold among the strongest Israelites. So tell me how many men have fallen out because Satan somehow instigated something. And it doesn't always have to be a bad thing, right? That happens. Perfect example. We have a man, pause, who didn't necessarily leave Men of Valor, but he's not part of Men of Valor membership because he's all the way in Georgia by himself. We would like to see him go out in the streets and teach, but it is what it is. He didn't leave on no bad terms. Nothing negative happened. You know, he's a great brother. Great brother. He's a great brother. I would say that wholeheartedly. You know, I speak to him from time to time. You know, you got a lot of brothers that, everybody that was ever part of Men of Valor, I would say I love them to this day. There's even one that we was talking about Saturday that I pretend to can't stand him or hate him and call him a white boy, but even him, I don't hate him. I would receive him with open arms, pause, if he ever was to say, yo, I did some bullshit and, you know, whatever. No hatred whatsoever. All former Men of Valor. You know, I would love for every former member of Men of Valor to come and say, you know, hey brother, can we work something out? Whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? I would love that to happen and it be sincere, you know, because you got men that may have left out of here that weren't necessarily genuine, but I don't remember any. Every single brother that was here, for the most part, there is a brother that I kind of question now that I think about it. But even him, if he was to come back genuine, I'm not going to tell nobody that you can't serve the Most High. You know, and if a brother wants to reconcile, we can reconcile. If a brother wants to reconcile and just, you don't want to join the camp, you just want to clear the air to where if we run into each other, it's not fucking awkward, I'm open to it. You know, in this truth, you really have to be forgiving. Because you have to understand something, man. Satan has done a great job. Because there are brothers that left Men of Valor, and it wasn't a clean break. It wasn't, we just have to go separate ways, or I'm moving to a different state. There was a brother that lived with me at one point. And he was rocking and rolling, but the problem was I had nothing for him. Like, I couldn't, it was too much, man. He was living with me, and not that he did anything wrong, but it's like there was no motivation to get out from living with me. You know, so I told him, you know, honestly, you'd be better off moving back to where you're from. But I haven't heard from the brother since then. I never kicked him out. I didn't say you have to go now. I just said it's long term. You're better off moving there and maybe linking up with brothers out there. I hope he's linked up with brothers. I don't have nothing bad to say about that man. The bad that I had to say about him, I said to him, because he was accountable. That's one thing that you don't see a lot of brothers when you tell brothers they did wrong, where brothers take accountability. You know what I mean? And I love that. I love when I see that with brothers, man. We need more men that are accountable for their fuck-ups. But anyway, yeah, wherever the Most High is, wherever the Most High is doing is his best work is being done, you best believe fucking Satan is in the midst of them trying to break them up. What do you think? One West. We are all children of One West. Every single Hebrew Israelite that says Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Every single Israelite group that says that, and even some that don't. You got Israelite groups that say Ahaya. But guess what? They are children of One West. We are all children of the Israelite Church of Universal and Practical Knowledge. I've never set foot in that church, and I am a child. Maybe, basically, you could say maybe a grandchild of that church. And then you have men like Gorilla Hebrew, who I don't know what he's, well, you know what? Let me not say Gorilla Hebrew, because I don't know what he's into now, but you have the Sakari. They're great-grandchildren of that school, because their leaders, who they learned from in Sakari, never set foot in One West either. So you got their teachers like Gorilla Hebrew and Deacon and all of them. They never set foot in One West themselves. So that's a one generation removed. And then you have the leaders who originally taught their leaders, which is the elders of GMS. They set foot. So these guys are basically great-grandchildren, if you will. But we're all children or grandchildren or great-grandchildren of One West. Whether you came in, whether your teachers came in, or your teachers' teachers came in through One West. We're all children of One West. And where has Satan been doing his best, quote-unquote, work? With all of us. Because regardless of the fact that, you got your real legit fallouts, men that just left the truth, sold out, this, that, and the third. But then you got your men that had fallouts with each other. Or beefs with one another. And then those are a whole nother story. You know what I mean? But we see all of it. Everything. Like I said, Satan's job is to give us a difficult time no matter what. So what does that mean? Like I said, we got a member that had no falling outs with nobody. I don't have a negative word to say about him, but he just moved to Georgia. So there goes that. Keeping him from doing the work with anybody. And some men, let's be real, we be telling men, oh yeah, go out and teach by yourself if you don't have nobody. Yeah, we could say that, but it's one thing to say, it's one thing to really be able to do it the way, you know what I mean? We can't make shit sound easy. We would love for the brother to do the work, even if it's by itself, but there's history, there's things that we don't know about each other, you know what I mean? But the main point that I want to bring up is, Satan has worked to divide our entire nation. We were all together at one point, but you know what else? This truth has spread all over the place through these same divisions, which is why I don't have a problem with it. I would like for brothers to have some degree of togetherness, but that's kind of tough too. But anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom and on to the next one. And, understand that, and another brother that has passed away too, a long time ago. Well, I don't know if I told y'all what I just told y'all, that Satan is where the Most High is, wherever the Most High has his presence, and especially where his strongest prophets are. That was told to me by a brother who was given 2 weeks to live about 3 weeks ago. And I haven't gotten a call saying he's passed away yet. But it's a brother who has passed away who also told me men are going to do whatever wickedness they're going to do. That does not take away from the fact that the truth is the truth. Now, he was part of a falling out, so he obviously didn't follow his own advice, and, you know, Most High rest his soul. I'm not in a position to condemn him. You know, I mean, I'm still in the truth, and he's not. Obviously, he's not with us no more. But, you know, y'all know me. If you know me, you know that I try not to ever utter a wicked word or an evil word about a brother, especially one that has meant something to me spiritually. But with that, I'm gonna say shalom and stay strong in his faith, no matter what falls apart around you. Shalom.